All right, all right. Thank you guys so much for your responses, your comments, everything that you had to say about part one of my series of And Two Bottoms Be in a Relationship. So I know again this topic is not as much controversial, but it gives a segue into knowing what actually can transpire within a relationship. So, because traditionally, gay men, especially in the black gay community, we are so, um, how you say, used to one top, one bottom, and that's your relationship. So, let's see what part two of this series can explore. So, it's time to see what happens after the labels. So, after we made the commitment, after we discussed, can we honestly and truthfully say to ourselves that we can make this work? Or does long-term capability depend on the sexual roles? Or is communication is the real key to it, making it work? So in this video, we will talk about the emotional compatibility, sexual expectation, communication in relationship, breaking the stereotypes in the LGBTQ community, and of course, why every couple is different. Okay, so in the emotional capability of things, as again, as black gay men or men in general, we are typically not on the emotional side, meaning that we can go into a situation, you know, and just do whatever. We don't, there's no emotional tied to us being with someone or even having a fling for like. So that would make it more kind of a, just want to do whatever. Because again, the emotional part is no longer or at all on the table. But as we build the relationship between one another, of course, the emotional connections will be there because now you formulating a true dating where you are knowing gets to know each other, not just the surface level information, but more internal. So you know about the ins and outs. What makes you happy? What make you sad? All your facial expression. Can you tell if your partner is going through something? Can you sense that? Do you have the again that emotional connection that will always thrive in that dynamic? Can you sense those things? You have, are you building a true dynamic when it comes to your relationship, or are you just letting things just go by the wayside? So the emotional connection part is very crucial when it comes to dating because you want to make sure that the person that you're with, y'all have those entities going. You know what you are to one another. But if it's just a fling, meaning that you just want to go out there and just screw someone because you're horny, whatever case may be, then yes, go ahead and do so at your leisure. I'm sorry if you're corny. We gotta phrase our words a little different. But if you're corny, that's what you want to do. So but the emotional capability is definitely critical if you are establishing or trying to establish a relationship with someone new. Meaning again that you are building, you're in that true dating phase where you are being emotional available, you're letting go of the wall that you have built up, and you're not bringing in any outside influences, past relationship into this new dynamic. Because again, you should not date the same way you dated in the past because everyone is going to be different. There should be no one, the new person should not be getting the same treatment and privilege as the prior ones. So we should let go of that notion. Everyone, when you are in the middle of dating, you're dating, this is fresh, this is new, this is not the same person. So once you let go of that ideal, I feel that the emotional connection will continuously to build upon that. And again, that comes with time. That's not should be a rush in regards to that because again, we are I say conditioned or programmed or the ideology of trying to rush into a situation before it's time. I think that we should pause, think, and let everything flow organically throughout the dating process. No, again, whether it's two bottoms, two tops, verse to verse, or bottom top, I think the organic way of dating should always be there. All right, sexual expectations. So again, I know this is again another interesting part of the series in regards to two bottoms dating. Okay, where are the expectations? Are you both are going to bring in like different gadgets, different toys into the relationship or to the bedroom? Or are you going to bring in a third just for you both to enjoy or something of that nature? What are the expectations? And and again, this is where it should hit home when you are embarking on this different journey outside which you are normally used to do. So that's when the communication again makes a key part, and we'll get into the communication part later. But your expectation, what are you looking for in this dynamic? And this need where you need to be as always truthful, authentic, honest about it, because again, this will lead to more exploration of your desires. You're not going to ostracize your partner because they will have a voice too. This is where you are vulnerable. This is where you let everything out and open. So your expectations that you two have talked about, meaning that you're going to either play together or not play together, whether you do play solo or you want to go to their home or you go or you fight to our house, you know, you want me to discuss what happened, blah 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 blah. These are the questions and the feelings everything needs to play when it comes to making these dynamics. Because again, as I stated in the first video, there is no playbook for us in the LGBTQIA plus community. There's none. None. But we are conditioned again to our heterosexual counterparts to see how they develop. And again, it's come from your parents, those of us who had both parents in the household, and your siblings who have gotten married. All these dynamics play a role when it comes to us. So we indoctrinate that into our community. So this is, and some of us feel this is how we should operate. There should be no anything else. This should be it right here. But with us as in LGBTQIA community, we should not live by those standards. We should have our own way of making our own rules, our own policies, our own procedures, our own handbook. Whatever case, whatever you want to call it. This is the time for us to do it. So the sexual expectation should be at an open free form. This should be because again, you have been through the dating phase of the relationship. I mean, you're still going through, you're still learning, still growing as a couple. So we should be more comfortable in just expressing those things, with our partner. We should not feel nervous or scared or have these questions in mind or these what ifs. If I say this, will they decide and they want me to do with it? Be honest, be upfront, and be truthful about what it is that you want and how you want it to go. Don't allow that inner saboteur stop you from being truthful and being free. That's it. Don't allow it. So, whatever you two discuss, make sure that there's understanding. Listen, compromise. Listen for their concerns. They'll listen to your concern. You meet in the middle, and you have a foundation where you can build. Because again, things do change throughout the relationship. It's not gonna stay stagnant forever. You want things to change. So different sexual expectations, different sexual experiences that you both probably want to have, can evolve. That's what a relationship is. Things change and evolve. So you have to be courageous enough to let go of that vulnerability and just express because you never know what your partner may want or want to do. They may just want to watch. You never know. That's why I said you got to have these conversations. These are, I mean, because again, you trust, respect, and love your partner. These conversations will continue to need to be had in order to make sure everyone is comfortable. Everyone knows what the agreements are, and that way does not lead to outside infidelity or what we call cheating. Because again, we know men are not emotional cheaters. Men would, fool around with a pillow or couch or roll of towel before they even try to get emotional connected to someone else. So again, in my community, just be open, be truthful, be sincere, be authentic in what you want, and let things happen the way it happens. And this is going to segue me into communication, Rachel. And again, we use communication very loosely because a lot of people say they want someone that can communicate with them, but the bulk of people don't know what communication is because everyone have different styles, different methods of communicating. Just like everyone have different love language, everyone's not going to be the same. So the way you communicate may not be the way your partner communicates. So that's why you got to have those these discussions with and just see how you communicate with each other. What things that you feel like once you hear it, you get it. And once they tell you something about them, you understand because you know them long enough. Because the constant dating and getting to know each other, you can know how each other communicates. It could be verbal, it could be written, it could be a slew of things that only your partner understands. Because if you try to explain things in the way that you understand, your partner most likely will not know what you're talking about or may get confused about it. So you have to figure out how they communicate their frustration, their love, their desire, their what event, anything that they have on their mind. You have to learn how they communicate as well as they have to learn those things from you. So yes, communication is a big key. It's a big key because again, no one will get lost in the sauce or lost in translation. That is the worst thing. You hear something that you thought was with your partner, but in actuality it wasn't. So you're not getting anything you want, and they're not getting anything either. So it's important. Sorry, it's important to make sure that we know how to properly communicate with our partners, especially when it comes to this new dynamic that we are both embarking on. So again, that all comes through time as you continue to grow, develop, and learn one another. You'll know how each other reacts to different things, different meanings, different symbols, signals. You'll learn those things within the whole dating dynamic. All right, breaking the stereotypes in the LGBTQ community. So this can always go back to the beginning, part one, because we are most of us are programmed, meaning that we want one or the other. We don't want the same, meaning that we want the receiver. It should be a receiver. It should be a giver. That's the dynamics that we have indoctrinated within our culture. That's what we've been doing, especially in the Black LGBTQ, mainly Black gay community. We have indoctrinated that mindset that if if I meet another bottom, say we don't discuss our sexual roles to one another. So we start developing, great dialogues. We talk, we hang out, we do things. We really start building a bond. Building a real bond. And then, of course, now the topic of discussion come up. Okay, what's your sexual role in the bedroom? And they say, I'm a box. So now it's almost like you have like the stoplight has came on. Do not pass go. Do not collect your $200. And that's when most dynamics or new bonded or found relationship tends to end. As soon as you hear that, you say, "Oh no, I cannot. That's not. I can't do. It. I'm a bum too, and it's just not. It's not gonna work. I want someone I can mainly for me. I can't. I don't want to dip and dab with no one who has the same sexual compatibility as I do. But here's the issue with that because now we are allowing our roles to intercede in how we feel about said person, as if being and dating another bottom is going will should stop us in our tracks that we cannot go because we feel that, oh, if they not a top, then we can't be together. I can't continue to talk to this. We could be friends with Judy's, the pen pals, but as far as us dating, no, I can't. And I strongly feel, in my humblest opinion, this is where we lose focus. This is where we lose ourselves when it comes to relationships because we now enter the phase where we miss out on a great opportunity to get to know someone because we allow the sexual preferences stop us from continuing on getting to know that person. But we keep strolling every day or all weekends, different bars, different clubs, different social gatherings, trying to find somebody, looking for love all the wrong wallets, looking for love all the wrong places. We are pushing ourselves out there more and more, expressing ourselves to the max because we can't find no one. Or we had someone, but we allowed that own entity, own part, be the end. No, no, no marks. I can't do this. So I'm trying to understand why we allow our sexual roles in the bedroom stop us from continuing to know someone that we can really see ourselves connecting emotionally, mentally, spiritually on those levels. So they checking all the boxes, but just the sexual compatibility is the same as ours. We don't want that. No matter if they got everything else checked off the box, but that is the overall it. No, I can't. I can't. And then now you're back to square one. Starting back over again. Going back to the club, going back to the bars, going back to social media. You're online. You're doing it. You start back over. It's almost like recruiting. Like recruiting. You know, you found someone that's perfect or right that will fit the mold, and then all of a sudden they don't work out. Okay, now it's back to square one. Now the whole recruiting cycle starts over again. Now it's time that no one can get back, and now it's wasted because now you decide, okay, I can't, I just can't deal with it because I don't want no one whose sexual preference in the bedroom is the same as mine. I mean, but as far as I'm concerned, I thought we all had, you know, that thing between our legs that I thought, but again, my opinion, my views, my opinion. But and again, this is not to out here to shame no one for what they enjoy, what they want, what they choose, or what they desire to have, but just be mindful of the fact that the person that you are maybe doesn't be with could be that person. So just don't push them aside, brush them off. You know, like I said, it's about taking a chance, stepping outside your comfort zone, stepping outside something out of the moment, and doing something that you thought you would never do. That's all I'm saying. Okay, and last, why every couple is different. Um, I mean, couples gonna be different regardless. I don't. I never want to bottom shame no one because again, that's not my entity. That's not what they do. Whether they are two bottoms or two tops, whatever in a relationship, that's them. That's the dynamic they chose to do and to be a part of because they saw outside of the sexual roles in the bedroom. So whatever they decide to do, let them do that. So it's gonna make them. I don't think it make a difference. Make them very unique and it make them normal to me. It's not nothing odd. It's not different. It's just to me they are enjoying themselves because they see past sexual roles because they have built a stronger connection and bond with one another. It's nothing to that because again you can do whatever you want because again you guys set the standards, the rules, everything yourselves as a couple. So you can do whatever you want. So it's nothing to stop you. But again, if we don't think again outside of those that top bottom dynamics, a mindset, you never know what you could be losing out of. So enjoy, get to know, don't allow things to be set in stone that you won't do, and just go for it. Because you never know. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So that is my take on the whole bottom to bottom part two. Can two bottoms actually stay happy together? And I want to know your thoughts. What do you think? Have you seen a bottom to bottom relationship thrive? No, always share your thoughts, your comments. Let's keep the conversation going because again, this is very therapeutic. It's healthy. It's natural for us to have these conversations because again, we want to know each other's input. You know, whether you agree or you disagree, that's fine. But as long as you keep it respectful. And again, I thank you guys so much for coming to my page, coming to my channel. As always, like, comment, subscribe, to DeMorn Unfiltered. Share the videos. Let's keep the conversation going. Because we want to know. And then again, we need to have more of these open in the conversation. Because again, there's gonna be a part three coming in regards to this. So again, I'm your host as always, DeMorn Unfiltered. Thank you guys so much for taking time to listen to me rant and give my honest opinion. Again, these are my opinions, not the opinions of others, but these are my only my only opinions about this topic. And again, I feel like this is a great start to us really developing these questions and really getting together to know. So the next topic is coming up, which is going to be part three, where if neither party wants to talk. Ah, that's gonna be a good discussion. I cannot wait to really delve deep into that topic. But again, thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Look forward to the next coming video. Bye.